Hello, 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 and welcome to the September edition of the Windows Insider Webcast. As we get started here, and as I do every time we do one of these webcasts, I'm going to do a quick audio check. Hopefully, folks out in YouTube land can actually hear us. I give a quick audio confirmation, and then we can get rolling here. I'm
Yep, I can hear
excited.
you.
It feels like it's been forever since we've done one of these, but really, it's only been a month. So we are at the top of the hour. We're actually starting a few minutes late. Sorry about that. Working through some OBS stuff over here. There's always something fun that happens with webcasts. It wouldn't be any fun if we didn't get to do anything kind of real time and adjusting. Jen has a very serious look on her face, and I can't tell if her camera's frozen or if she's
She
just
froze.
that intent. Jen, if you want to flip your camera off and back on.
I think she had to restart Teams.
Yeah, she's got a very serious look. Well, while Jen's working on that, I'll just give the rest of the crew a chance to say hello real quick. We've got some fantastic guests for y'all today. We're going to be talking about widgets, and then we're going to be talking about some of the new and revised apps that are making their way out into the hands of insiders and hopefully beyond here pretty soon. That said, well, I would normally go clockwise as I see folks, but I'm still chuckling at Jen being completely frozen with that intent look on her face.
That moment of terror.
Yeah, seriously. So, Eddie, Eddie, how about you go ahead and take a quick moment and say hello?
Hey, folks, how's everyone doing? I'm Eddie Leonard. For those of you who are new, I'm a community manager on the Insider Engineering team. I handle most of the social media stuff. So, if you're talking to the good old whip handle, that's probably me. You could find me at DJ_ADL on Twitter, or you could find me also in the Answers Forum and some of the other communities.
Awesome. And how about you, Brandon?
Am I unmuted?
You are
Sorry.
unmuted. You are good to go.
Awesome. I'm Brandon. I'm on the Windows Insider program team, and I get to write a lot of our blog posts for the builds that we give the insiders.
Excellent. So, well, Jen, is your audio working? Because I know your camera's frozen, at least on this side.
Oh,
But
is it?
yeah, it is.
I hope it's not frozen in a really awkward position.
Oh, it totally is. I'm sure somebody's gonna grab a screenshot and put it on Twitter. Like you have this very intent look on your face. It's kind of funny.
I'm a very intense person. Well, my name is Jen Gentleman. I swear I'm a real person and not a freeze frame. I'm actually attending this webcast, and I work on the team that owns the Windows Shell along with some other stuff. So things like taskbar, file explorer, lots of input stuff and all that jazz. And I help investigate all your feedback. So, and I'm lying on a couch. Everything's blurred. I swear there's a cat here, but you can't see him really.
That is funny. All right. Well, so one of the things is we don't often have this many guests on the podcast simultaneously. So it's always interesting to see kind of what's going to happen along the way of whether or not things are going to work as expected or whatnot. So one of the things that I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to bring up the full panel that shows everybody so we can do the rest of the round robin for all the folks that are going to be on today. And what's funny, Jen, I can still see that your camera's going to be frozen, which is really, really funny. So
You may have to remap for Jason.
yeah, it's what's going to happen. So while we're having introductions for everybody else, because Molly still isn't showing up, I may actually end up turning my camera off for just a moment. It's funny how this stuff happens in real time. But I promise you, we're going to get to all the really good content. Lots of really good folks that you get to meet today. So let me go ahead and do that. And I'm sorry, I'm still chuckling at Jen's face here. So with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I hope you can see your face, Jen. It's kind of funny. You should make that your new Twitter profile picture. Just
No.
very intent. So let's get on with the ball here. Normally I just go clockwise, but we're just going to run the rows. So we'll start with you, Charlie, in the middle. You want to say hi, introduce yourself, and tell folks what you're going to be talking about today.
Hi, I'm Charlie. I'm a program manager on the Windows Signature Experiences team, and I'll be talking about widgets today.
Excellent. And then next up, let's see here. I'm trying to unlock panes and work at the same time. This is what I love doing, right? This is always fun. We'll just jump over. So We have Frank, Molly, Craig, and Dave. Craig, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sounds good, Jason. Hey, Craig from the Office Media Group. Today, I get to show the all-new Photos experience for Sun Valley.
Excellent. This is going to be a lot of fun. Running back to the next row. Dave, you are up next.
Hey, PM Lead. I also work on a bunch of the app experiences that ship with Windows and work closely with a lot of the other guests here and lots of teams working on those app experiences.
Fantastic. Frank, how about you?
Hi everyone, my name is Frank Chen. I work with Dave on the Windows Inbox app team. Today I'm going to be showing you the focus section feature in the new Clock app.
Awesome, thank you for being here. And then last but not least, we have the blank square at the bottom. Let me make sure it's not a mapping issue real quick. Molly, do you want to go ahead and say hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. For some reason, like your video's not coming through. And folks might see Brandon pop in here twice. We'll see. Yup.
No worries, as long as you can hear me. Hi everyone, my name is Molly. I work with Frank and Dave on Windows apps. I'll be showing the snipping tool and paint experience in Windows 11.
Awesome. What's funny is on the producer side over here, as I'm listening to everybody introduce themselves, I'm over here running this real quick. Let me see, Molly, are you coming through? Is it gonna switch? Please switch. Excellent. All right, transition. Hey, everybody can see Molly now. Hooray! We're finally all on the screen together. Excellent, except for Jen, because Jen's still frozen. So, so I don't hold up the show anymore, because this is always chuckles. It always makes me chuckle when we do these kind of things. Charlie, if I could trouble you, I'm going to have you go first today. I can't wait to hear about widgets, right? Internally, we've been using it for a while. Insiders have had access. I know there's some feedback coming in. I can't wait to hear and see everything that you're going to share. I'm going to put you up top and center with the rest of us. And for the viewers out there, I am working on Jen's cam in the background post this introduction. So if you see some magic happening, you see Jen's serious face disappear and then pop back on, know that I'm working on that very diligently. And so with that, Charlie, I will turn it over to you. Here we go. The stage is yours, man.
Sounds great. I'm going to share my screen here. Let me know when you can see it.
All right, I can see it in Teams, and let me map it over so the audience can see it as well. One more quick second. I gotta click a couple buttons here. Shared screen, done. That should pop up here momentarily. Excellent. Transition and done. This is the joy of mapping and producing in real time while you're hosting the show. It's super fun, let me tell you. You should be good for everybody out there. So whenever you are ready, you are free to kick it off.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be talking to you about the Windows 11 widgets today. So in this presentation, I'll give a little crash course on widgets and talk about the design process, our inspiration for this feature, and what went into the design, and then share some lessons learned that the team is talking about for the future of widgets. So first, our vision for widgets is to help users stay on top of what's important to them by aggregating personalized content from all apps and services. And for insiders, I'm curious who's tried out widgets. And then for those of you who have, I'm curious on what your favorite widget is and when you use widgets. So for example, do you use it before you start work or throughout the day? So please leave a comment. So let's start with the crash course. First, how do you open widgets? You can click the widgets icon right on the taskbar. And then for tablet and touch users, you can easily swipe from the left edge of your screen. And then for keyboard shortcut, you can press Windows W for quick access. And in terms of the widgets themselves, widgets are fully customizable. So you can add new widgets by going to Settings and then clicking the plus signs, and they'll show up on the bottom right there. You can also remove them through the More Options menu, just like that. And you can rearrange by dragging and dropping wherever you want. You can also resize widgets, again, through the More Options menu, right in line. And then for some widgets, there's quick action. So for example, I'm doing this demo, so I can click that off my to-do list. And you can also customize some widgets. So I'm changing the location of my weather widget. And then for a more in-depth interaction, you can click on the widget's header to access its app or website. Now, at the bottom of your static widgets, you have access to a rich news feed from over 4,000 global brands, personalized to your interests. And you can tune your news feed by clicking more or fewer stories like this. You can even hide specific publishers, and you can simply click on the news article to read more. And once you're done reading the article, you can pick up right where you left off, click on that widget icon again, and then keep scrolling through those news articles. And your newsfeed is going to become more personalized over time, but if you want a more in-depth personalization, you can click on Personalize Your Interests in the settings, and it'll take you to this page where you can use the search box to find topics and publishers that you want to follow. You can also scroll through to find any topics. You can also view and manage your interests and your hidden publishers through those tabs right here. Okay, so now that I've given a little crash course on widgets, I want to tell you a little bit about why we built this feature and what inspired us and what went into the design.
I'm super excited to hear this part, by the way.
Awesome. So first, we started with our customers. We know that users have a need to get oriented, plan for their day, stay up to date on what's happening, and there's multiple tools they use to get information that they care about, which requires launching multiple apps or disengaging from their PCs and reaching for their phones. This is time consuming. It introduces cognitive burden and also results in context loss. So we wanted to create a space that's a one-stop shop for everything that provides a holistic overview of what's important to our users without them having to take the time and the effort to launch multiple apps or websites to get the same information. And we want to help users stay on top of tasks. So it's really important for the content to be fresh and quickly accessible when users want it. But we also don't want it to be in their face. So Widgets is meant to be a lightweight surface that once you get the information you need, you can get right back to what you were doing. And lastly, customization is something that came up in every user research study we've done on widgets as key to the experience. We want to give users a space to make their own, and we want to serve different needs that users have throughout the day. So whether they're getting oriented for the day or taking breaks throughout the day or transitioning from work to life. So with those goals and values in mind, during the design process, there were 6 principles that we and all the other widget creators stuck to. The first is glanceable. Most of the value of each widget should be available without having to click or navigate. It should also be useful. This is pretty self-explanatory. The content offered by each widget should be relevant and offer user value in its own way. And then we also wanted each widget to be focused. Because widgets are meant to be glanceable, each widget should focus on one core job or function, because the purpose of widget shouldn't be to replace everything that the app or the website does. And next, we want the content to be fresh. It should always be up to date so that users have access to timely information, and it should also be dependable. This goes hand in hand with the fresh content. The content needs to be accurate and it needs to be ready fast in order to help users access key information that they need throughout the day and saving them time. And lastly, each widget should be personalized to the user. So with those principles in mind, several teams across Microsoft came together to build our first set of widgets, actually some of the teams that are here today too. And we're really excited about the set of widgets that we're launching in version 1, and we think there's something for everyone. We did a lot of user research studies to find out what types of content people would want on their widgets board. And we also learned from our customers in research that different people have different needs. So we tried to offer a variety. First, calendar, to-do, and weather were always ranked at the top. So we have those. We also have other productivity-oriented widgets like the Microsoft 365 widget that helps surface relevant documents, and the traffic widget that helps you plan your commute. In a different category, the entertainment and photos widgets bring a moment of delight to the canvas. And the family widget makes it easy for you to keep up with your family so you have peace of mind. And the tips widget helps users discover all the cool things we have to offer in Windows 11. We also have widgets for different interests like stocks, esports, sports. And then another category or another top ranked content from our research was also news. So for those micro break moments where you want to catch up on what's going on, there's a curated news feed that we talked about earlier. And then just on a different note, I wanted to just say that this project was especially cool to be a part of because it really is a representation of one Microsoft. So many teams across the company came together to make this happen, and it was just awesome to be a part of. And let me just say that this is just the beginning, which is a good segue into our next agenda item, which is lessons learned. So first, I just want to state this is a strong investment space for Windows, and we have plans to continue innovating. And we're really grateful for all the feedback we've been getting from our Windows insiders. We have a team that reads the feedback and triage daily. I personally read and triage feedback daily. In fact, that's what I was doing before this. And a couple of pieces of feedback top of mind that the team is talking about. First is more widgets. This is a huge theme. A lot of our insiders have been requesting for all kinds of widgets like music, sticky notes, email, and even requesting to make your own widgets. So I just want to assure you that we're listening, and there will be more widgets coming your way soon. The second piece of feedback that's top of mind is multiple accounts. Lots of feedback about being able to attach more than one account to your widgets board. And then lastly, a lot of you have been saying, hey, I like widgets and I want an even easier way to access them. Let me pin them on my desktop or bring the weather back on the taskbar. So we're definitely thinking about different ways to bring the goodness of widgets into more Windows surfaces. And that's all I have for today. Thank you for listening.
Excellent. That was a great presentation. It's so fancy. I love seeing all these gorgeous PowerPoints that folks put together. We have so many awesome templates internally, and then other teams come up with their own stuff. It gets better every time I see new content because each team seems to do their own thing. And as a random programming note, Jen's camera is now fixed. Small victories. So, I gotta say, I was very intently focused on the presentation that you were giving over here. I have not kept up with the questions that have come in chat. I know there's some comments along the way. Eddie, Brandon, Jane, were there any things that popped up in chat that we should pass over Charlie's way?
The biggest thing that I saw, which is something that I think is already something that's being tracked. A lot of folks are mentioning they really would like to see the ability to add other accounts to their widgets, like the calendar, for example, other than just the MSA that's logged in. So I know that's been a big requested thing. I don't know if there's anything that we can talk about there or not. That seems to be the biggest comment I'm seeing.
I'm seeing Charlie with the head nod.
Yeah, we've definitely been looking at that, and that's definitely been a big theme. So we're thinking about it, and we're talking about it.
I mostly saw a lot of people sharing all the widgets that they love. So.
Ooh, super interested to see that.
So if I can, I just want to ask kind of a generic question. And you covered this in the presentation. I'm just hoping maybe you can, share just a little bit more or whatnot. When it comes to like the customization of what you see in your widgets pane, right? You showed how you could hide certain sources of information, things like that. You can update like what weather, like where you're seeing it for and whatnot. Is it like documented anywhere, like just how far you can go with customization in the current version of widgets. Like, is there a thing on docs somewhere that I could go and reference if I was a user who was new to this and wanted to go and do some investigation?
Yeah, actually. So if you go to the settings menu, there's a link to a tips set. So that kind of gives an overall tutorial on just kind of the big things that you can do. And then there's also a link to a learn more page, which will be live when we go to market. And that gives you more details on how exactly to customize everything.
It's funny, as soon as you said when we go to market, I glanced down at my wrist where my watch is currently not sitting. Apparently I forgot to put it on this morning. And I was like, well, we're ticking down the days here. We got what is it, 7 days till GA?
That's crazy.
I'm excited. And that's one of the things I'm gonna touch on a little bit later in this broadcast, but we're almost there. Like, I'm so excited. Let me check the comments one more time. Ed, thanks.
Someone asked, can we put in music suggestions? I like that idea.
What's funny is I was sitting here thinking, like, hey, wouldn't it be cool to have like your Spotify controls in there or something? I don't even know if that's possible, right? I mean, somebody who's like a big Pandora fan is gonna be like, no, it's Spotify.
If you use the game bar has a Spotify thing, like while you're gaming, if you want to go back and forward through your music, you can do it with the game bar, which I like to do while playing Valheim.
It's funny. How many places in the OS can I change what song I'm playing on Spotify?
It's actually more than you think.
Right? I just want to do it from every single screen. I want to do it from Edge, too. I don't know. I'm getting a little off track here. It was funny. People are talking about Spotify and music tiles now. That's great. Well, so obviously you're listening to feedback. Feedback is coming in. Thank you for kind of highlighting those points. I know that, the insider population out there, everybody who's part of this community, really passionate about filing feedback. There's lots of feedback always coming in. I'm glad that y'all are listening and checking it. Who knows what, future revisions are going to come up with. There's always something in store. But with that, any parting comments you want to share? Any words of wisdom?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, hey, Charlie, thank you so much for making the time today. Really appreciate it. Like I said, beautiful presentation. I'm really jealous of that PowerPoint. I'm going to have to hit you up and borrow it and use it for some of the stuff that I'm working on currently. So with that, we will transition over. Let me bring up all the apps, folks, and let's see what has happened here. All right, give me one moment here, because as I expected, OBS has shifted folks around. So I'm going to take another producer moment here, and I'm going to fix these things real quick. But I'm going to do it not in real time so that y'all don't have to watch me. Actually, you know what? You get to watch me do it in real time. This is going to be fun. We'll just jump out on a limb here. All right. So the folks out there get to see all these panels and everything. So apps, folks, once again, I thank you a ton for being here. Craig, Dave, Frank, Molly, thank you so much for making the time today. I'm super excited to hear the stories that you get to tell, both about the things that you've worked on, the things you are working on, potential, if it's safe to say, dates and things like that. I know that can be, touchy, and I don't want to get anybody in trouble here. So that being said, where would y'all like to start? And I can see like Frank's missing, Brandon's scrunched up in the corner over there. This is cracking me up. OBS is killing me today. So who would like to go first? I know that I have a PowerPoint over here with some video demos in there. Let me know how you want to proceed and we'll make it happen.
I'm good with going first.
Okie doke.
Dave, I don't know if you want to say anything before we kind of go into this segment.
No. Thank you, Molly. No, I would say go ahead and jump right into it. I think we've talked a little bit about a couple of these app updates already. So I say, why don't you just kind of do a deep dive and kind of demo what we have for insiders?
Yeah, sounds good. Jason, you have control of my destiny over there.
Yes, just a moment. Let me. I'm gonna jump around here for a second while I pull up the PowerPoint. Let me get this opened up.
If you could start with slide 3, that would be ideal.
Sure.
I guess while Jason's getting started, I will quickly talk about, I'm going to start with Snipping Tool first. Snipping Tool has been out in the Windows Insider community for a while now. I think like 6 weeks, around that, roughly that time period. So I want to say I really appreciate all the feedback that we're getting. It's incredibly helpful, and it's helped us find some great bugs, and I appreciate the suggestions. I guess.
Right.
Cool. Awesome.
I was just gonna say, so I have slide 3 popped up. Looks like it's ready to go. This is the one with the clock and focus sessions. Is that what you were looking for?
It should be Snipping Tool.
Let me see.
Unless Frank wants to go, because that's his.
There it is. Okay, let me get advanced over. Perfect.
So,
all right, now. Oh, this is a joy of producing while doing this live. All right, transition.
Okay, awesome. So I just wanted to briefly talk about some of our thinking with the new snipping tool. In Windows 11, we wanted to have a unified screen capture experience. So we looked closely at what was loved by both classic snipping tool users and snip and sketch users, and worked hard to bring together the best experiences in both apps. I guess, Jason, if you want to press play, have you started it already? No, it's okay. I was hoping pre-recorded demos would be easier, but I feel like we might have a synchronization issue, so I'll kind of run through it quickly. Cool. Okay, so I'll just kind of walk through. So the new app has everything bubble up to the front, so you can add delay and change the mode to the home screen. We've also included a settings page, which I will talk about a little bit later. I don't have access to the video, so I'm not sure where we're at, so I'm just going to kind of talk through what I demoed in it. So a lot of people call out the home screen is reminiscent of the classic snipping tool app, which we felt was really iconic. We wanted to make sure we brought into the new snipping tool experience. A lot of people liked the powerful annotation capabilities in Snip and Sketch, so we also want to make sure we captured that in the edit screen. In the new app, you can ink, highlight, crop, do anything you want to emphasize, edit, and even hide content in your screenshots. This is a great area for suggestions, and I would love to hear feedback on what users are thinking. I'm assuming we're in the settings section at this point. I want to call out, a lot of people don't know that the settings actually provide quite a bit of customization, and I would recommend looking in there and tailoring them to fit your workflow. And then, of course, we have a dark theme in Snipping Tool. So I imagine a lot of you that are using Snipping Tool are already using dark theme, but I think it's a great experience, and I recommend trying it out. So I guess 2 things I want to call out. We brought in the hotkey from Windows 10. So Windows Shift S works in Windows 11. A pro tip that I think is an awesome experience is combining Windows Shift S with Cloud Clipboard. You can actually access all of your previous snips that you've taken, and the 2 actually work great together as a hotkey combination. And then one more thing I see in feedback I just wanted to call out, it's actually in the settings, is a lot of people want to have print screen rewired as the snipping tool experience. You can actually do that. It's the top option in the new settings page. Yes. Does anybody have any questions that I can cover?
So Molly, you just said
questions, but there are some people who commented about looking at what other screen capture tools do, because overall, that people like the design, they just want to see more functionality. It's kind of the gist that I'm getting from the chat.
Awesome. I would definitely recommend file feedback. I look at all of it and add suggestions. It's really helpful for us in our planning and prioritization.
Molly, did I hear you correctly? So you no longer have to go into the settings app to make print screen do the same thing as WinShift-S. You can just do it straight from the snipping tool settings.
So we actually have an entry point in our settings in the app that takes you to the settings page. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That is one of my favorite features.
It's a popular one.
I think everybody should look normal once again.
Do I ever look normal?
Oh, goodness.
Define normal.
I know, right? Oh, wow. Wow. So, Molly, thank you. Again, another beautiful presentation. The recorded demo thing worked really well. I did pause it at one spot, and so you were catching up when I was talking about the highlights and underlining and whatnot, and I got it going. And so it was like almost like perfectly back in sync. It was fantastic.
I was like, I have no idea where I'm at right now. Oh well, I appreciate you helping synchronize me.
No, it's fine. So for all the insiders out there, we're actually trying something new where I'm actually hosting some of the content rather than it being presented individually by the folks through Teams and then feeding it back in. That's the joy of trying new things. You know, you get to figure out kind of where some of those soft spots are and what works well. So you get to see it in real time. So just like you're trying preview builds of Windows, we're trying, I guess, our own preview versions of how we run the webcast. All right.
The latest comment I see just says, "Tell Molly, you did an awesome job."
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So,
whoever's on YouTube.
Who would like to go next, and which order are they in the PowerPoint?
I can go next if it works out.
Sure.
Cover Paint.
Okay, let me switch over. Yep, Paint. Let me throw it back in presentation mode.
Just let me know when you press play, and then I'll start my talking track.
You got it. I am flipping it back. Transition back.
Cool. Awesome. So I want to say that we're showing off Paint today because we are really close to releasing to the Windows Insider community. Be on the lookout for Brandon's updates. He'll send something at some point. So I thought, we could do a little preview of what the new Paint experience looks like. So the first thing I want to say is that I did not paint the painting on the screen. The designer on our team did, but he did do it in Paint. And I feel like I cannot take credit for that.
Yeah, no, I cannot do that.
I'm not a digital painter, so when you read the blog post that's coming, you will see that the Leafs make another cameo. So first thing I want to mention, kind of going into our process, is the toolbar. Similar to snipping tool, we spent a lot of time thinking about what makes Paint for users. So we focused on the toolbar and how we can make it feel modern while still being reminiscent of Paint and everything that kind of makes Paint iconic for us being users of Paint. So we simplified the top and we removed a few items from kind of the top level. We bubbled up Flip so that it lives with the rest of the image editing tools. I think at this point I'm probably going through Rotate and some of those drop downs. Next, we added a toolbar. So that has new controls, including text alignment. And we found from users that they found the background fill option a little confusing, or the way it was discussed in the old Paint was a little confusing. So we actually created a background fill button you can click, and it'll fill in the background. And let's see, assuming this is going to take a little while to walk through.
Yeah.
Okay, so we also added a brush paint drop. We added a new brush drop down that adds a visual representation of the brushes, and the icon also dynamically changes based on the brush. We also got feedback that users wanted a little more detail about the sizing and how that works. So we added actual pixel sizes to the size drop down. And then, of course, we updated all the icons and all of the other visual pieces that makes Paint now belong to Windows 11, including adopting Mica and some of the material design as well. So two things I thought you Windows Insiders might have questions about. The first is dialogues. So some of the dialogues still have an kind of old school Paint feel. We're actively working on those and plan to release them soon. In fact, the edit color dialog, which is that rainbow button that's to the right of the color palette, we actually partnered with the WinUI team and helped design the color picker for that, which is part of their 2.7 release. So keep an eye out for changes there. The other question I thought people might wonder about is dark theme, and we are working on that as well, and we plan on releasing something in a future update.
Excellent. Dark theme, all the things. I think everybody by this point knows that I'm a huge dark theme proponent, because I don't know, I just like it. It's easier on my eyes, I guess. So anytime I hear a team say, hey, we're working on dark theme or dark mode, you know, depending on which they're talking about in the scope of the OS, it always makes my heart happy. I was like, yes. So, I mean, not that I'm not excited for this, but now I'm super excited for it.
Awesome. The last thing I wanted to say is just because people send out Paint art all the time, our team really loves it. So please don't hesitate to share your art with us. It brings the product team quite a bit of joy. So just throwing that out there. Your art is very, very appreciated.
So here's the
now that I've seen these leaves, they're so gorgeous. How could I share my art?
That's what my question is going to be: is where should they share it? Did they just drop it in the answers form? Do we post it up on Twitter? Is there a certain account folks should tag? Like, because I mean, you ask for it, you're gonna get it. That's how this works.
Yep. That's a good question. I guess I mean, can we send it to the Windows Insider group? That would be I would love to see it there. The Twitter handle.
Sure.
I'm trying to think.
No, yeah. I mean, I will throw in this one caveat. Make sure it's work appropriate, right? If we're going to share this with our coworkers, it can't be things that we shouldn't be showing within a work environment. So, you know, please take that into consideration. But tweet it, you know, if you pop in and you make some fun art, like if you can draw some leaves like that, I mean, that's I'm going to have to get better than stick figures. I'm going to have to put some colors on stick figures now, like just, you know, doing outlines and stuff. And I will say this, like anybody who's worked with me on any spec documents or feature presentations or whatnot, there is stuff that I have done, and I do it all in Paint, right? There's a mock-up that I made of some work in settings that's taking place. At least it's pitched work. We'll see how it turns out eventually. But of course, I did it in Paint, and then there's some work that I did for some of the stuff that's showing up in this first version of Windows 11 that will permanently live in Figma, which is part of the software that's used by the design team to actually properly and formally make the designs of what actually shows up in the OS. There's some of my original Paint drawings that live in Figma, and they will live there forever, which is very heartwarming and endearing. So now I can't wait to get to use this updated new revision of Paint to do my stick figures. All right. Molly, did you have another one, or were those the two that you wanted to cover?
Nope, that's it.
All right. So who's next? Craig or Frank? Who would like to go next? Craig, I'm going to throw it to you.
All right, then. Craig, you can go.
Oh, see, it was right about the time. That's the thing about meetings. You wait for somebody to speak, and then you're like, okay, we're going to call the meeting. It's right about that time somebody always speaks up. Frank, did you want to go? I do want to give you the chance if you want to go first.
I don't have a preference. Like, Craig, if you want to go ahead, and then let's do that.
Okay, sure. I'll go. All right, so I'm going to show you guys a video today. Let me just share my stream here, and I'll pass it over. One sec. Yeah. Hopefully this works, Jason.
I see it in Teams. I see it in preview. And let me pass that on to the viewers out there. Here we go.
Okay, so this is, bear with me, this is an internal video that we captured a couple months ago. It does a really good job to walk through our new feature sets coming out with Windows 11 and talks a little bit about our design methodology and some of the background. So this is done by my design partner, Helen Lamb. She does a great job. So hopefully the sound works, and we'll just go with it.
Here's a concept drawing from September. Here's where we are today. We're super excited to see it. We're looking at live Cherry Hill production code. Nearly went to work. Let's rewind a bit and look at a typical user for your photos to shine in the next version of Facebook. You start out in a folder as images. Photo instantly opens a gorgeous edge-to-edge view with all the tools you need daily photo. First up is performance. Photo Viewer's spring performance update carries through to Sun Valley, where we can instantly browse through our folder of images. You want the experience to adapt to your needs, so as you're scrolling very quickly through the folder, the UI elegantly gets out of your way and returns once you stop. This also gives you a preview of photos in your album using pen, touch, mouse, or keyboard. The film strip allows you to jump around photos. And in a few weeks, in the next build drop, the film strip will also power our multi-view. Now let's look at the toolbar. Here's where you'll get to work with edit, markup, favoriting, and metadata, and have quick access to third-party photo editors. Here's a quick preview of our edit matrices: crop and rotate, adjustments, and filters. Now let's talk about some details in craftsmanship. The beautiful rejuvenation materials are highlighted with a new base surface material, white. And the telltale signs of Sun Valley's rejuvenation are everywhere from the 8-pixel point cloud, surface fly-up shadows, acrylic blur material, and the 5.78% opacity black strip to elevate each component. And for some experience notes, through customer interviews with a variety of photo users across skill levels, we know what the common viewing jobs are. And so we want the app to be intuitive, powerful, and elegant as a purpose-built photos experience. For example, you can easily dismiss the UI by clicking on the photo, and also by rolling off the window, so that you can enjoy your photos in full floating. In this view, you can use left and right arrows to scroll and remain in a beautiful UI-free state. Click again, and your photo tool will reappear. If you want to inspect your photo in more detail, just double-click, and you can zoom in even further with scroll wheel and also pan around. With touch devices, you can pitch and zoom to get the same experience. And you can also go to full screen without seeing any of the UI. So that's a look at the photo viewer for Sun Valley. It's going to be a great addition to this experience. Whether people are on a netbook or have a Surface Laptop 4, hundreds of millions of people will benefit from a stunning and fast performance, making viewing and editing photos seamless and enjoyable whenever you open the photo, weaving an elegant photos experience into the fabric of media.
There it is.
Wow.
So
That's
I think if I'm feeling brave, I could do a live demo for the big feature that I didn't show in that video, which is Multiview. What do you think about that, Jason?
I say go for it, right? You know, I'm always about pushing the envelope and
let's do it. Let's push it. This is a bleeding edge build, so truly rolling the dice with this one. But I like the idea, so let's do it.
Okay.
Okay. So what we showed you obviously was our brand new viewer. That is your double click experience from the desktop for all of your media uses. One of the features I want to show you is multi-view. So if I just open this photo from the desktop, probably open my other window here. Okay, so here it is live. I'll just get rid of this. So one of the features that Helen talked about in the video was multi-view. So this brand new film strip allows a very easy comparison between photos. So all you would do is select a few photos that you wanted to look at side by side, and the window dynamically shows all of them at the right scale. And if I make it really big, the idea here is think of like a light table analogy, right? So you can quickly compare photos, and you could hover over one and then favorite the one you really want, and you know that from there you want to print it or share it. It's easy to mark those up. The other thing you can do is just go back into full screen, and you get a very quick A and B between them if you want to see all the detail. So it's a really quick look at Multiview, which is a brand new feature that's coming with Windows 11. The other thing that I should just quickly share as well is that the video did a very quick job with it, but all new for this year is a nice handoff to third-party edit experiences. You know, the Photos app isn't trying to be everything to everyone. We're trying to offer that really simple inbox solution that does the most basic jobs really well. But from the edit link here, you'll be able to go download apps like Photoshop or PixArt or Luminar and use that very simple handoff that we'll recognize in the dropdown. So that's another feature that's coming from Windows 11. And if you guys have been using it today, you would have seen that already in the recent Insider builds. And I know, Jason, you mentioned this. The other thing you'll note, dark theme by default. Big change for us in Win 11. A lot of the research we've done and feedback is that people love dark theme. It just shows a better contrast with your photos. You can still switch it back to light theme, but that's something we're shipping as by default on for Windows 11.
I'm glad my mic was muted because I would have totally woohooed right over your mid speech. Oh man, this is gorgeous, and that new Multiview, wow, like that is fantastic. So you actually touched on a point, and I'm gonna bring us back up here for a moment, so folks can see us while we discuss here. So one of the things that I want to ask about real quick is, I think you showed it in almost like perfect clarity, is how this app functions between it being just a simple tool to look through a camera roll versus it being a full-fledged editing program, which folks that are into proper design or do these things professionally, they usually have their app of choice or whatnot. But this seems to sit right in the middle for folks like me who want to make some quick adjustments, some quick edits, things like that. But the change in the interface, this I don't know, it's beautiful. And now having some more of these tools at hand to give me a little bit more control, like I can't see why folks wouldn't want to take advantage and use this.
Yeah, it's so easy to go after everything in the photo space. But look, are we really going to compete with Photoshop or Lightroom or any of the bigger apps in that respect? There's no chance. I think in the end, because we have to satisfy the low-end PC to the high-end PC, we really want to focus on those core jobs, get the UI out of the way, and just give people that quick access to that quick edit that they may need to do out of the box in Windows.
Yeah, it's one of those old school phrases. It's like if you try to boil the ocean, you'll never actually, accomplish it, right? You try to do everything and you either do everything just very mediocre or you don't really get anything done at all. And it seems like y'all picked this perfect spot to set in and be like, here's our feature set. This is what we're going to accomplish. And that's what you're delivering. And I can't wait for more folks to actually get their hands on this and try it out.
Yeah, excited to show you guys. I should just touch on it. Coming up next, you'll see some of those edit controls that don't ship immediately with Windows 11 GA next week, but you'll see those edit controls. And the really cool story with the edit controls is that we've now built them to work within OneDrive as well. And so if you guys are using OneDrive today, you'll see all new crop and enhancements. We're using those same features in Windows 11 itself. So super cool to see that coherence across all of Windows versus like trying to teach people to do crop 3 different ways. This will be the same thing you see in OneDrive, which is great.
The coherence, right? You make it seamless, you make it easy, and
Yeah, teach them once, right?
Yeah. It's kind of the opposite of what I said earlier about having Spotify and 10 different places in the OS where you can adjust the volume, right? Just make it smooth and folks will pick up and run with it. Oh my goodness, was that it? I mean, not that wasn't exciting. I didn't know if you had additional things that you wanted to cover.
No, that's it. And if there's any questions, Brandon or Eddie?
Let's see.
There was one question about, is everything in the Photos app processed on the device or across connected services? I assume that maybe that's in regards to the tagging. I think Photos does the automatic tagging, right? Or did?
Yeah, so I showed you guys today is the viewer experience. The other half of the Photos app is the collections experience, right? Where you would do all your collections management. We didn't, other than rejuvenating it and upgrading the UI for Windows 11, the functionality remains the same. Just so everybody knows, the tagging is all done local. There is nothing cloud processed there, okay? If you use OneDrive, that's different. Obviously, it's a web-based solution, but for the Windows app, everything is local. So if you do people tagging, face tagging, all the machine learning, it's all local. So nothing is shared over the web.
I love that it tags all my cat pictures and that it's just so easy. You type in cat and I just have, a wonderland of photos.
But has it learned which cat is which yet, though?
Ooh, that's a challenge for us.
I'm gonna put in some feedback. Feature request. Individual animal detection.
Cat facial recognition.
I know, right? This cat has 12 whiskers. This one has 10. Okay. Sorry, I'll get us back on track here. Frank, thank you for waiting. You've been extremely patient. Sorry about the little bobble in the handoff there earlier. I'm excited to see what you have. I'm assuming that you have the third video demo and the PowerPoint that I have over on my side of the fence.
I do, but I was wondering, like, do we want to just avoid that crazy synchronization challenge? And I can also just show the video from my side. It's the same video, just put it full screen, and
sure.
That way.
Totally up to you. Yeah, we can absolutely do that. Let me just pop it up. Go ahead and share your screen in Teams, and I'll do the wiring on the back end over here.
All right, so let me get that ready. It's taking a little bit of time. I think Teams is just a little bit slow right now.
Maybe it is good that I have it. Yeah, because it looks like you're sharing, but it's just coming across as a black screen.
Yeah, give it a little bit of time, so hopefully that will eventually show up.
Worst case scenario, we can both press play at the same time, and you can talk through it while I'm displaying it to the end users.
Oh, yeah, okay. I think like my system here is actually frozen right now. I can hear your like audio coming through, but then like the entire picture is like frozen. So I don't know what's going on. Okay, it looks like now it should be live. Can you see it?
Yes, it just popped through. All right, let me go ahead and make that available so the viewers out there can check it out. All right, it is all yours, sir. Take it away.
All right, cool. Thank you, Jason, and thanks, Greg and Emily, for introducing so many like exciting features in like some of the inbox apps we already have today. So I'm very excited here today to introduce the focus session feature. As you can see on the screen, this is the new feature that's going to be presented in the new clock app. So if you're ever wondering where to find it, you just go launch your clock app from the start menu, or you can do a search and then type in clock, and then that will show the clock app just to launch it from there. And then when you first launch it, you'll see a FRE screen. That's the first run screen. It tells you what this new feature is going to be about. And then after you click the blue button over there, this is what you're going to see on this. This is what you're going to see on the screen. You can see that there are a couple like modules over here. So the primary goal over here we have is to really just help the user to focus, help them to be productive and to stay healthy. And then we want to keep the experience really, really simple. So you can actually just use it this way. Like, so for example, you can just change your time, like it tells us like how much time you want, and then to click on the start focus session. But a lot of the goodness comes with the other modules. For example, you could click on the sign in button on the lower left corner over here, and that will bring up the sign in dialog. You can sign in into the experience with your Microsoft account today. And what that gives you is that it allows you to actually create tasks and select tasks you want to focus on during your focus session. We know a lot of people want to do that because it helps to keep them focused. And then, like, oh, sorry, I'm a little bit out of sync over here, but then let me show you that experience. Select your account, and then boom, select sign in, and then boom, your task will show up. And then these tasks are actually synced with your Microsoft To Do app. So if you happen to be a Microsoft To Do user, you can also enter your task while you're on the go. And then the other important feature we brought in here is really the ambient audio when you're trying to focus. We know that a lot of users love the ambient audio when they're trying to focus. And then so we brought in Spotify integration. So in this case, you can just click on the link your Spotify icon over there, so a button over there. Then I will bring up the Spotify sign-in dialog. In this case, I just use my Facebook account, so I click on that. Boom, there you go. You see like different playlists that's being presented to you. There's specific playlists that's focused on like just helping you focus. And then there's also your favorite playlist. I happen to have both of them like with very similar music over here. So like when you want to start a focus session with a very specific focus, you can just like select a task over here on the left side, and then choose your favorite playlist on the right, and then you can just click that blue button to start the focus session. And then after it's started, you'll notice that the music is already started playing, and then you can just minimize the app if you want to, or otherwise, if you want to keep track of the progress, you can click the keep on top button over there to just put it on over there on top of your desktop while you work on the other important things. So that's sort of the focus session in a nutshell. I'm hoping that this will really help you to stay productive and to stay healthy. Thank you.
Excellent. What's funny is like I'm over here looking in the chat, and folks are, obviously one of the first things that I'm seeing comments about is the Spotify integration, right? I think we mentioned it a few times today. So it's a bit humorous to see it connected here, but as part of the experience that you're going for, right? With bringing, a chance for people to decompress a little bit, take a step back, right? The music side of it, and I don't know, it reminds me, like, over the course of time, I'm trying to think back how long it's been. I can remember, bringing my iPod to work back in the day, plugging it in, or, the Zune that I had, plugging that up, setting it on my desk while I'm working, in Excel or Word or checking email or whatever it was, right? And it seems like music has just become such a ubiquitous part of people's daily activities, whether it's personal life, work life, whatever. It's almost like it's integrated into people building out the flows that help them work and focus and get things done. And so whether you're doing something like this where you're focusing to get focused on work, or you're focusing on your personal health for a moment, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you may choose, right? This kind of seamless integration that ends up happening to give people that moment to kind of reflect and decompress. Like, I love seeing this. This is something I've already tried out, and I will have to say, like, it's done wonders for me, and hopefully others that are in the, insiders out there, if anybody's in the chat and has tried it out. I saw Jeremy post up about, his experience with it and Spotify and whatnot. Like, I would love to see some more of the comments. And let me just kind of ask in general, from the feedback perspective, what have insiders said so far? Have there been any good suggestions or anything that y'all are looking into for future planning?
Sorry, Jason, is that a question addressed to me? Do you mind repeating? There was a little bit.
No, it's okay.
So, Justin, can we switch the view of what's on the screen?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.
You got it. There we go. How's that? Hopefully that works. My question is what feedback are you seeing coming in from insiders? Have they shared any things that have come up and that your team may be considering?
The top feedback we're seeing in the past months is actually people asking, why am I not getting the update of the clock app that has a focus session feature? So that's quite exciting. Like, we know that people saw the news, but then they're seeking it. So that's really exciting. The other one we're seeing is people asking, why can't I use this with my enterprise account? So I want to sign in with my work account. I want to use that at work. So those are things we're continuing monitoring the feedback, and then thinking about maybe as an update for the future.
Awesome. Well, it seems like a straightforward feature, fairly easy to use. I'm glad that you're getting feedback on it. Hopefully folks who may not have known about it will go and do some exploration and give it a shot.
Cool.
Well, we are actually slightly over time. I apologize for some of the video shenanigans today, but it's been a fun session. Hopefully, insiders out there, hopefully you all have learned a thing or two today as we've gone through some of these features and apps. I know that I've loved seeing this, and I've got some few things that I had to go try out myself now. So everybody who came today, everybody who presented, I have to say thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll show. Let me get everybody back up on the screen. Transition back out. The cameras are all kind of sized funnily, but that's just kind of how it's going today. So, Dave, I know you haven't spoken much. Is there anything you want to share before we wrap up here? I don't want you to, just kind of want to give you a chance to share any insights or thoughts that you might have before we close out.
Oh, thanks. No, I'm just really excited to see all of the feedback coming in from insiders. I think we've shared some of the apps that are coming to Windows 11. Like I think some of the apps like Snipping Tool have been available for a while, and we've been able to make changes based on that feedback. And I know as we continue to kind of like browse Feedback Hub and see how users, both WIP users and feedback is coming in, we'll continue to make adjustments to these experiences. But overall, I'm just kind of really excited to kind of see that teams come together and share the work they put into some of these apps.
Awesome. Well, Charlie, thank you. Dave, Frank, Molly, Craig, I really appreciate each and every one of you making the time today. Hopefully the insiders out there have as well. Jen, Brandon, Eddie, thanks to the crew for being here as you are each time we do one of these. Really appreciate all the time, all the education. No doubt we'll have some more feedback coming in, and then hopefully as we get some of these photos coming in, hopefully insiders actually make some and share them to us. We'll make sure and get that over to the product side of the house so y'all can see some of the fancy drawings. I might have to make a stick figure drawing myself. We'll see how it goes. So with that, we will wrap up here. Thank you once again to everybody on the Microsoft side of the house. Thank you to all the insiders who have tuned in. Thank you for sharing part of your day with us. And if you watch this after the fact and you have additional questions or feedback, feel free to reach out to us. If you're on Twitter, we're at Windows Insider. You can always catch us at answers.microsoft.com in the Windows Insider subforum. We're also on Reddit as well. Pretty much all the major platforms. We have a Facebook page. Obviously, we're on YouTube. So take a moment, say hi, ask questions, and thank you once again for being a part of the program. And until next time, thank you so much.